Well, Silas, how you doing? There we go. Right on. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Hey, C Black's here. How you doing, C Black? Glad you could catch the stream. Yeah, I'm doing great. As you can see, I got the floating head set up. So I was able to get the green screen that I talked about the last time. See how it works tonight. We'll get back on No Man's Land, as usual. I started playing around on Calmsden. That's a pretty cool map. Haven't spent much time on it yet. Hey, Wee Willie, how are you? And I've been playing a bit on Deer Creek as well, which is an enormous map. And I might do a playthrough on that map as well, or a map like it. It's dealing with a map with fields that size, or just like, it's a completely different kind of a challenge, you know. I don't think we need that here. I put in a few more mods. There's some that just came out today. This John Deere 8R pack. And with that, there is a John Deere planter, which uses liquid fertilizer. And there are these 8RX tanks that go onto the sides of the tractor to hold more fertilizer. So I got those mods in. I thought maybe we could make use of those at some point. Maybe not today, but... and then I got this mod, which came from another... this one's not on the mod hub, but this is a trailer with two huge tanks on it that you can use for sprayer support in the field. You know, you can have your herbicide and liquid fertilizer in there. So yeah, there were a bunch of new mods today. I think I may have installed one or two others, but I don't remember. Anyway, let's get going. Enough yapping. Okay. Yeah, I got the latest version of Courseplay. Newer than the one I was using. We'll see if it's got... I mean, I'm not sure if there are performance improvements or what. I didn't actually check to see what the changes are, but I know there have been some updates since I've used it the last time, so got the latest version. All right, so we left ourselves in November, and oh, I remember what we were doing last time. I had to get this field planted with wheat before the end of October so that we would have something to feed the chickens. Right, so I did that. I got that done. We can see, let's see, that's cultivated. Let's see what else we need to do today. Yes, I remember. We need lime. We've got weeds everywhere, and here, let's turn off the weeds for a minute. Yeah, we need lime on, well, that says needs rolling. I don't care about the rolling. Yeah, we got to put lime on. Okay, we don't need it down there. But on these three fields up there, we got to put lime. Okay, farm sim guy. Yeah. Yeah, Courseplay is great. And they're still working on it, so that's why I kind of want to stay current with the latest version. Because there are still some features that aren't built into it yet. Oh, and another thing, when I was working the field the last time, I went and I bought a weeder. Because what I noticed is that as soon as I planted the field, as soon as I put the seeds in the field, it said weeds growing, and then in parentheses it said weeder. Right? So that told me that there were weeds coming. Even though I couldn't see them yet, they were growing. And because it said weeder, it tells you what tool you can use to get rid of the weeds. So I thought, if it says weeder now, maybe I can actually get rid of the weeds now before they even come out. So I went and I bought a weeder and I ran it over the field, and sure enough, it doesn't say anything about weeds anymore. So it seems, here, we'll take a look at the field. We're in our first growth stage now. Yeah, but you can see now it doesn't say anything about weeds. So, I mean, we'll see if they pop up again later, but it would seem that you can run the weeder over the field as soon as you seed it, and you don't have to worry about weeds again. At least I hope that's what's going to happen. We'll see. But anyway, let's get some lime on these fields. I don't remember if I have any lime left in my silo here. Let's see. Yeah, I do. I've got lime left in my silo. And I got my fent hooked up. All right, this is our recently upgraded fent, so it's now got 500 and something horsepower. Great little vehicle here. Little, yeah. It's a large tractor. It's not that little. It is great, though. So I think I'm going to use Courseplay on this. And that way we can go and we can sell eggs and bread and do all that daily stuff that we got to get done. Hey, Alex. Yeah, it is kind of weird, isn't it? Now, one thing I could do, bear with me a minute. I was kind of messing around. There's this opacity control. I thought it might be nice if you guys could see through me a little bit. But maybe that's the creepy part. So let me, there. Maybe that is a little less disconcerting. That way. Anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to use Courseplay to get this field done, and that way we can take care of our daily activities while the worker's taking care of the field for us. So we're going to create the job. We got it on Courseplay fieldwork mode, which is what we want. The target position we set, you know, somewhere in front of us. I'll set it like that. And we're going to start at the first waypoint. That's fine. So then we open the course creator, 18 meter width, smooth headland corners. I'm going to change that to sharp. We'll do two headlands. Is that good? 2 headlands should be good. And then we're going to start work on the headland. Okay. So then we go to generate the course, make that go away, and this is it. Good enough. Start job. And we'll just watch it for a minute or two and make sure it actually works. Let me lower my chair just a tad. There we go. So the top isn't cut off so much. Okay. So I've been using Courseplay a lot on Deer Creek, that big map I told you about, and it works really well from what I can tell. I haven't really had any problems with it. I think one of the things they're still working on is being able to run multiple vehicles on the same course. The last I heard, that's still not fully functional. But once that's in place, then working on big fields is going to be really fun, because then you can get, like, you know, multiple harvesters working together and that sort of thing. You know, we're plowing fields, that sort of thing. So, okay, so we'll load up our eggs. We'll also check on crops too. I don't recall if there's any crops we want to sell in November. I don't think so, but we'll see. We're starting to accumulate a little bit of wool. Still not a whole lot. Whoops. Overnight, some new sheep were born. Let's see. Yeah, so you can see now we have another black sheep. We've got, let's see. Yeah, we have, which ones were just born? Okay. Yeah, these were just born. So we got 5 of the landrace sheep and 5 of the Steinschaft sheep. So we're getting more sheep, bottom line. No cows yet. That's going to take a while. Hey, Lanesta. Oh, I did check. Well, I checked used items before you guys joined. Yeah, and actually there's something there that looks like we might be interested in. And that is this Vaterstadt cedar. Yeah. We can use that to plant corn. So we may pick that one up. Yeah, we might do that one. We'll see if we have enough money. I don't know if you recall, but at the end of the last, well, maybe not at the end, but sometime during the last stream, I stated that I wanted to try to stop getting more money from the bank and see if we can just start paying for things with our own money. So if we can end the month with enough money to buy that planter, then that would probably be a good investment. All right, let's see how much bread we've got in here. Oh, okay. We've got, looks like about 6 more pallets. We just got to wait for the bakers to bring them outside. Should be 2 more. And if we wait another minute... Oh no, there's 4 more. That's weird. I don't know how I'm reading this, but... We got a lot of bread. This bakery's been making us good money. I wish there was a way to see in the finances, like, how much you make from your different production chains. I think that would be nice to see. And see your profit margins too. But I think you have to do your own accounting in this game. Okay, and then we back up so we don't accidentally get our eggs stolen. And we'll take this up to the shop. Make a few bucks. Yeah, hey Wee Willie, I think you can have as many as you want. Yeah. Now, I'm using a mod called No Handcuffs Production, and that gives me a version of these buildings that has, I think, 5 times the production output. Let me rephrase that. The cycle time is 5 times faster. Okay, like the recipes are the same, but one of those buildings is like having 5 of a regular building. At least that's my understanding. So that way we can make a lot more without having to have buildings all over the place. Hey, Doris. Okay, so let's take a look at this guy. 12 meters wide. And this is used for corn, and you can do soybeans with it. And you can do... What else can you do? Oh, sunflowers. and sugar beets and cotton. So those are all good things. And it fertilizes too. We will have to cultivate first with the planter, but that's not a big problem. And we get a 60% discount. So I don't know what you guys think, but I think we should buy it. So I'm going to buy it. And that way we'll be able to, I won't be able to pick it up just at this moment, I don't think, unless I got a trailer hookup. Huh. I wonder if I can pull it. Let's try. Let's try ridiculous things in Farming Simulator. Where's Jim? He's supposed to be admiring my backwards driving and giving away more gift subs. Can I hook it up? Ah, no, it's not going to hook up. Okay. It was worth a try. So, we'll have to come back for that. Yeah. Yeah, the Fendt looks good, but I just bought another tractor. We have 4 tractors now, and there's only one of me, so... And there's another pallet of bread. Maybe I'll come back and sell some more later today. We'll just save it for tomorrow. And we'll go check on our worker, see how we're doing with the lime. And then we can check on food for the cows. I know that the food production for cows is currently stopped because we ran out of straw. No, we ran out of hay, so we'll need to top off some of the food over there. Keep the cows happy. And maybe we'll have enough milk to sell. That would be nice. And we can start thinking about setting up a dairy someplace. Actually, let's go take a look while we're here. But let's look at the map and see how the worker's getting on. Okay. Looks all right. Missed a few spots, but I'm not going to sweat it. Okay. What were we running short of? Oh, you know what? My bad. It says that first thing says 0 straw, but that is referring to straw inside. What happened there? That's referring to straw here inside the shelter. Diego12345GG, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, and welcome. Yeah, so we didn't put straw in here because I wasn't really interested in making manure. So right now we're just getting slurry. And to be quite honest, I was looking around here trying to figure out where the manure goes, even if I were to make it, and I'm not quite sure where it even comes out. So I don't know if any of you know, but... Right, here's the animal dialogue. This is for the milk, I believe. Because we can see the milk processing. Yeah, like the milkers are over here, the milking machines. Milkers. And then in here there's like a, this thing. Whatever that does. So I'm guessing that you pick up the milk over here on this side. And then, oh, you have to place a pit for the manure. Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, and then this is where we would get the slurry, I believe. And then we can put that in a tanker and use that to fertilize things or sell it. Since we're using... Yeah, actually, once we start picking straw off the field to save for the cows, then we're not going to get the fertilization bonus from the chopped straw, so that'll be a good time to start using some of the slurry to do that for us, so that we don't have to spend quite as much money. Okay, so I think the cows are okay for food. Yeah, and the chickens are okay too. Somebody was telling me that you could move these... You could open these windows or something like that. Is it on the inside? I mean, this is the first time I realized you can even come in here. Into the chicken control room. Where's the speed knob? I want him to go faster. Yikes. I'm a little too tall for this building. But yeah, I don't... Oh. They did open. How did I do that? Hey, Bronc Freak. How are you? How the heck did I open that? I don't know. I don't know how I did it. Well, if anybody knows what's going on with that, let me know. In the control room? Is that what it was? Alright, let's go back in there. And I saw a message that we're out of line. No. Is it this? Ah, there we go. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, so it's November, so I think we would probably want them closed. But if we remember, we'll come back and open them up in the summer. Okay. Bronc Freak, I have an open mind. Let's hear it. Oh, also, I got rid of the weather station that I had over here because because it was driving me crazy. The noise was driving me crazy. Okay, looks like we almost got it finished before we ran out. So I think I can live with the uncertainty about the weather. Okay, let's pull around to the other side. I do need to refuel, but not right now. Okay. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. We could do something like that. Or I could just deduct some money every time. Keep the trailer, and because I have a mod on here where I can change the amount of money that I have. I can just subtract a couple $100 or something like that every time I auto load, and we'll pretend that we paid a helper to do it. What do you think about that? I like the suggestion. I do like to, I mean, I like to keep it real, but, you know, I like to keep it real, but not to the point of tedium, you know? So, like, if that was an option in the game to pay somebody to load the trailers, I would be all over it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's do that. So, look, we'll do that. We'll do that right now. So we loaded in 2 places for those pallets. I don't know. What do you think? 250 bucks? There we go. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I appreciate the suggestion. Okay, so like I said, we missed a few spots there, but nothing major. You know what? I should have. Yeah, let's save this course. Let's start saving courses here, guys. So I'm going to create a folder and No Man's Land. Okay, so we'll make a folder for No Man's Land, and then I go. I'm in keyboard mode now. We'll go to Save Course. And we're going to call that, oh, what do we call these fields? Jeez. Okay. 25. We'll call that 25 North. Okay. Oh. All right. So we're in No Man's Land. Oh, I think I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a separate folder for each activity, but I don't know if you can do. I wonder if you can do nested folders. I don't see any way to delete folders though. That's the problem. All right. Well, let's just do this. We'll call that 25 North Lime. Okay, and now we can clear it. And that way we don't have to create the course every single time. Okay. So we'll create another one here. Pretty much the same parameters, I think. Yep. We'll say generate the course. And run it. Okay. And on this one we should have, I think we'll have enough lime to finish the whole field. $250 per trailer load. Okay. That sounds fair. Yeah, we'll do that. That's a good idea. You know, well, I mean, you guys know me. Sometimes I do take shortcuts or use little cheats or hacks here and there just to make the game flow a little better in my mind. But I do like if there's a cost to doing that. So it's not just like a free, you know, that way it doesn't feel so much like a cheat as it does like we're just using a new feature, you know. Okay. Let's see. Let's get back over here. All right. What shall we work on today, folks? We got plenty of water there. Yeah, it's cheating light. Just a little light treason. Okay. Maybe this would be a good time to start thinking about silage and sugar beets. Okay, and grass. Hey, there's a cost to that, big time. So I don't consider that cheating. I just consider that to be an extension to the base game. All right, let's do a little bit of planning here. Because the things we have missing to make cake are milk. Well, no, we have milk now. All right, so we can say that we're not missing milk. We're making milk. What we're missing are sugar and butter. So to make sugar, we're going to use sugar beets. So we need a field in which we can plant sugar beets. That's one. And then for the butter, we're going to need a dairy. And the sugar beets are also going to need a sugar mill in order to, in order to convert the sugar beets into sugar. So we're going to need a field for sugar beets. So let's decide where to put that, and maybe we can start putting that in place today. All right, so we can't use 35 because this space is occupied for animals, and this space is really not very big. Although we did cut grass down there. Oh, and that's the other thing. At some point, I'd like to get a grass field put in place, so that we can make hay for the cows ourselves and not have to buy it. Okay, so let me. I wish there was a notepad in here, but let me take a couple notes here on my dry erase board. The dogs are going to bark in a minute. Just be ready for that. My son's coming home from his driving school. All right. So I need a sugar beet field, and I need a grass field. And then I already have fields that I can plant corn. We're also going to need a silage bunker or silo. And we're going to need a sugar mill, and we're going to need a dairy. So once we have all those things, we should be able to start making cake. Okay, so the question is, which one do I start with? I think, I guess the fields would be the way to go as a first step, right? We can do the grass field. Actually, we could do a grass field, and we can plant the grass now, because you can plant grass all year round. Oh, no, you can't. Shoot. This is the last month to plant grass. Well, it's almost noon. Let's see if we can get it done. We got time. And my plow's back there behind the seed tender. So we'll have to move this out of the way. What'd I tell you? And he's ringing the doorbell because he didn't see the text that I sent him that said that I left the door unlocked. Alright, I'll be back in a minute, guys. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so grass field. Where should I put it? I'm not even sure how big it needs to be. Maybe I can put it just south, on the south end of field 35 and into field 45. That way it'll be fairly close to the cows. Yeah, in fact, we can use up almost this whole area here. This is where we had cut grass previously. But we had cut the wild grass, right? It wasn't a grass field per se. Oh, you know what? I forgot to lift this thing. There we go. Okay. All right, good. Yeah, so we'll just make it a modestly sized field, and then if it needs to be bigger later, then we'll make it bigger later. That way we don't have to spend too much time cutting down trees and picking up rocks and all that stuff that's not very fun. Let's see here. Yeah, in fact I can start it right here, just beyond the tree line. Let's try going the other way. There we go. All right. Oh, really? Okay, that is a pretty modest size. Okay. Yeah, so let's not make it too big then. We'll make it a small field, and then we'll see how we do with that. We'll just fill in this spot here amongst all these trees. And we're playing on easy economy, so if we can always buy grass. Or buy hay, I should say, if we need more. So it's not like the cows are going to starve if we don't do this big enough. Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. Since it doesn't decompose or anything. I remember when you used seasons in FS19, the fresh grass would decompose if you didn't pick it up, and the grass bales would too, which effectively meant that you would always have some point in the winter where there was no grass available. So if you had animals to feed during the winter, you could only give them hay because the grass wouldn't keep. And that meant that you couldn't get full productivity from your animals during the winter, which I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if it's like that in real life or not. Like if you know. Well, I know that animals are probably seasonally more productive than other times. But I wonder if that's because it's probably not because of diet. I mean, they have so many dietary supplements and things like that these days that I'm sure the cows can get whatever they need all year round. Okay, looks like the field is done. So I'll just do another row here, and then we'll go and get the lime going on the last of those 3 fields. And then we can finish up over here. It's nice to be loved, but I gotta let Cooper back in the room. Hang on. Okay. Where's my controller? Here it is. All right, let's get the tractor refilled. Well, he did an extraordinarily sloppy job over there. I think I'm going to try rounded corners on the next one. See if that works better. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to save this course. Just because I feel like there's a few too many missed spots here. Okay. This part of the field looks good. I don't know why that other corner ended up so ugly. Alright. Hopefully just one more load of lime will do it. You know what, actually I should do sharp corners on this one because I do have a sharp corner that's right next to a fence, so we'll see how course play does with that. I think it'll do alright, and we can stack the odds in our favor by starting the headland right here and going down along the fence. Alright, first let's clear the current course. Okay, great job. So starting position, let's say, is right there. Going due south. Yeah, Sharp corners, 2 headlands. Field margin. Oh, interesting. So you can add a margin around the edge of the field. I think this is something new. So you can tell it either to stay inside the edges or go beyond the edges or just try to match the edges, which I guess would be 0. That's interesting. I'll have to try that sometime. Okay. Looks good. Go ahead and get started. That's not precisely where I asked him to start, but pretty close. Hey, K-Mac, how are you? Thanks for coming by. Oh, Bronc Freak, at what age hour-wise do you guys sell your tractors? I'm not sure that I don't know if it ever really does make sense to sell a tractor and replace it with a new one. I mean, yes, the repair costs, well, yeah, the repairs need to be done more frequently on an older tractor. But we do know that if you repair them before they get too low on maintenance, then it costs less. So in other words, if you repair it more often, it costs less than if you wait for it to wear out completely and then repair it again. So I think if you just get in the habit of repairing after every job you do, then I think it's probably okay just to keep your vehicles forever. Money-wise, I don't think it ever gets to the point where, well, I take that back. It does get to the point where eventually your repair costs will, over the years, will cost you more than if you had sold it and replaced it with a new one. But somebody had done an analysis on it, and I can't remember who it was, but I think there was a YouTube video. Oh no, it was there was a post in the Giants forum, and I put it on my Discord. There's a link to it in the farming simulator section on my Discord, and he did a really detailed analysis of how repair costs and wear works, and I think he came to the conclusion that it's better to buy new, if you're gonna keep your vehicle for 50 years or something like that. And most people are never gonna play on the same map for that long. So in my mind, I don't think you ever really need to do that. I'm putting lime in the field. Over here. That's what this worker's doing. Somewhat slowly, but he's getting there. AI worker is blocked by an object. Okay. I'm not even sure why you would drive over there. Alright, let's see if I can get him back on track here. Let me see the whole course. Oh, okay. So it wants now to come over here to continue. So let's get him there and go to the nearest waypoint. There we go. And I see there's going to be a little issue right there. I might have to, yeah, it looks like we're going to be riding over the what used to be rocks here. I think we might have to remove some of these obstacles on the field at some point. I think maybe next season I'll take that stuff out. This Challenger just like... I think the Challenger can literally turn on a dime. You can probably turn around without changing position at all. I think you should be able to on a tracked vehicle like this. Pretty close. You just get one track going forward and the other one going backwards at the same speed, and you should just pivot around without moving. Which makes this good for these type of jobs. Makes it easy to get around those sharp corners. Hey, Chevy Camaro, well, in the game, the game is divided into months, right? So there's 12 months out of the year, and I have the game set right now to where 1 day equals 1 month, right? So 1 day and 1 night in the game is 1 month. So when we go to sleep at night tomorrow, it'll be November. You can change that, though. You can add more days to the month if you want to. So it changes slightly every month. Like right now in November, you can't really tell because we have mostly spruce trees, but yeah, you can see some birch trees off there in the distance. You know, the trees change color. The temperature changes. You know, in the winter, the days get shorter and the nights get longer. And then there are certain months out of the year where you can plant and harvest your crops, you know, depending on what the crops are. Okay. So, plowing's done. Now we can get the rock picker and get the rocks out of the field, and then we'll plant some grass with fertilizer. Now you only have to roll the grass after you cut it, right? Not before you cut it the first time, or should I do that? Excuse me. I wonder why he stopped. I may have pushed a button by mistake. Or maybe I got a narcoleptic worker or something. Okay. Alright, well, he's going now. That's the important thing. Yeah. Yeah, he could be drunk. No, I don't know. I think I may have accidentally hit the worker stop button while I was still in that vehicle. Could be a bug, too. I don't know. Seems to be okay now, though. We'll see. Right. So when it comes to maintenance, I think I'll just make my rule of thumb that whenever it drops below 90%, we'll do a repair on it. Right. So in this case, my plow is still at 98%, so I won't repair it this time. And by doing it frequently like that and keeping the maintenance up, that will, over time, reduce our overall repair costs. I don't know by how much. It may not be that significant, but, you know, we'll try to do things somewhat optimally. Alright, and then we'll put the seed tender back. I think I'm going to have to connect the electric this time, because it doesn't, the trailers don't like to be pulled without the cables and hoses connected. Sometimes they drag. Let's see, I'm going to need to pop out here. Alright. And then we'll get the rock picker hooked up. I do need another shed. So maybe we'll do that in one of these winter months as well. We'll take out some trees and put a new shed in. How much of an effect does it have? Well, cleaning, you know, washing your vehicles and tools, it doesn't really have any effect except for a cosmetic one. God, this thing is... Oh, I was going to say I'd like to reduce my center range on my controller here to make it a little bit easier to steer. It's a little sensitive. But anyway, the cleaning is only cosmetic. You know, having a dirty vehicle doesn't have any effect like you might expect. But the maintenance can have an effect on your tools and your vehicles. So for example, a tractor that has low maintenance might lose power or use more fuel. Implements that need repair will reduce their maximum working speed. Harvesters will lose a little bit of yield. So it's things like that. It's not like they don't break down on you or anything catastrophic, but they just don't work as well if you don't keep them maintained. And then also their value goes down, you know, so when you go to sell a tool or a vehicle, if you have it fully maintained and painted, then you're going to get the best price for it. And as a matter of fact, we'll probably see on that planter that we bought earlier, when we pick that up, it'll probably need, 50% repair or something like that. That's usually how it works with the used vehicles. But whenever I sell something, well, I haven't been doing it lately, but I'm going to start doing it again. You do get a slightly better price. You get a significantly better price if it's repaired. What I was going to say is you get even a slightly better price than what it costs you to repair it. So, like, for example, if it costs you $1,000 to repair something, then your sell value will increase by, like, $1,050 or something like that. I hope that makes sense. So it's usually worth it to repair and repaint before you sell something, because you get back what it costs to do those things plus a little bit extra on your sell price. And then you want to sell things at the repair shop at the dealership, because they give you, I think it's 10% more than if you just sell it from your own farm, which is kind of the opposite how you think you would work, right? Usually if you trade something in at the dealership or just sell it to them outright, you get a worse price than you would if you sell it yourself. But yeah, I mean, well, it has an immediate ROI if you only do it once, But if you use something for a long time, then you're going to have to repair it multiple times, and then you're not going to recoup that cost. That's just the running cost of your operation. With the rock picker, if you miss a few spots here and there, it's okay. You really only have to run it over the visible rocks to get all the rocks cleared. So if there's a spot of ground that doesn't have any rocks on it and you don't go over it, it doesn't have any ill effect. So that's why, like, I can kind of skip some of these corners and stuff. But they're pretty well dispersed, which means that it's usually end up having to go over just about every square inch anyway. Okay, so I can see that Bronc Freak answered my earlier question about rolling. So the grass roller is used after it's cut, right? And when you plant it, you can use the regular seed roller to get that juicy 2.5% yield bonus, which I am not doing on this map, by the way, for anybody who hasn't seen all of my previous streams. I'm not mulching and I'm not rolling, just because I don't think it's worth it. Mulching and rolling together gets you a 5% yield bonus. So I don't bother. Because that's 2 additional times you have to go over your field just to get 5% more. And I can get a 95% bonus without doing that. So that's what I do. Yeah. But I think the grass rolling has a much bigger effect, doesn't it? I haven't done grass in 22 yet, so I'm not quite sure how much of an impact that stuff has. Oh, you know what? I'll empty it next time. Oh, it keeps it fertilized. Okay, so you kind of do that in place of fertilizing it. Alright. Yeah, so that's... I guess after a few harvests, it's worth it, right? Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to leave the rocks in here right now. There's only 2,000 liters, and my rock crusher is kind of far away, so I'll just leave it in here, and next time we use it, we'll go pick it up when we do our sugar beet field. Okay. Let's go see how we're doing over here. I'm going to have to lime that field too that I just made. Are we done? Alright, missed a couple little spots. Well, missed a lot of little spots. Oh, ran out. Okay, so if I had made sure this thing was completely filled first, I probably would have made it. Alright, so I'll go ahead and save this course. So that field that's 25 south. So 25 south, line. Alright, and then we'll clear that. Alright, so I'll come back and I'll hit this area real quick before we go and put lime on the grass field. And I know I'm running low in my silo. I think I might have another full load or close to it. We do have the multi-fruit silo there, so we can always buy more right here on the farm if we have to, without having to go too far. Oh, okay. That's it. I guess we will have to buy more right now. Fortunately, lime is not expensive. Relatively speaking. Oop. I was about to go down to the other field. Alright, yeah, let's get these little mist bits here first. Jeez. My finger slipped from one of the buttons. I need a beer. It's been a long week, guys. I've been working on kind of an urgent quality issue at work, and so I had to set up a daily conference call at 7 a.m. and it's just, I mean, it's 7 a.m.'s not super early, but when I have to do it every day, it's just, God, it wears me down by the end of the week. I'm not used to getting up that early. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, you know, I'm already halfway done by 7 a.m., but You know, normally I start work around 8. So I got those 7 a.m. meetings every day, and then there's even a couple days where I have a 6 a.m. call. So it's, I'm not all there right now. Probably wouldn't make a very good farmer with that. Having trouble getting up early. Because the problem is, you know, at night, it's hard for me to turn off and go to bed. Because there's just so many interesting things out there. Games to play, videos to watch, books to read, movies, TV series. You know, and that's after my family goes to bed. So I have a hard time having the discipline to go to bed at a reasonable hour, or at least at an hour that's congruent with the time that I need to wake up. You know, so it's something I need to get better at, and it would probably be easier if I exercised more too. So, because then you actually get physically tired. Tuck and roll. You liked my my quick exit from the tractor? Yeah. Yep. Yeah, my son and my wife are usually in bed, you know, between 10 and 11 o'clock. Sometimes my wife goes to bed even earlier than that, because she often goes to the gym fairly early in the morning. Which is really what I should be doing. I used to go to a 5 a.m. CrossFit class, but you know, I go through phases with that. I don't really enjoy exercising. I mean, probably most people don't. I know some people really love it, but it's just, you know, it's just another one of those things that I have to do just because it's good for you. But anyway, so I go into phases where I'll be pretty good with it for like a year or so, and then I get bored with whichever activity it is that I've been doing, and stop doing it for a while, and then eventually I'm like, man, I got to get started with this again, and then I'll do something else. So I think what I need to do is to find myself a variety of different forms of exercise so that I don't get bored or burned out with doing the same thing every time. And it's funny that I'm 50 years old now, and I'm still trying to figure these things out in life, you know. Bronc Freak, what do you do for a living? I think you may have mentioned it before, but I don't recall what it was. And that's good too. Like if you have a job that, you know, has a physical component to it. Well, and even pre-COVID with the job I have now, I would walk, you know, probably a couple miles every day I mean, at least a couple miles every day. But since COVID, I've been working from home, so if I don't go exercise, then I'm basically just sitting on my butt all day. So I at least try to take the dogs out for a walk on a daily basis, you know, so I get a mile or two in. But yeah, I need something more strenuous, I would say. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So that's a pretty physically demanding job, then, isn't it? Or at least it has you moving around all day, which is probably good for you. But it's a double-edged sword too, because, you know, having a physical job, it helps keep you healthy, but it also can wear your body out faster. So. Let's see here. I gotta fix something. My green screen is acting up. I think I need better lighting. I know I need better lighting. I just have a couple lamps in here, and they're not terribly bright. They're dumb lamps. Okay, I'm at 71% on the tractor, so it's time for maintenance. Let's get this baby over to the shop. Okay, we'll fix the weight so it doesn't get too light. Yeah, almost $2,000 on this tractor. Yeah, so this Fendt is getting old. It's 61 months on it. I bought it used like in year 1 or something. Oh, and by the way, I did find out that you can go to statistics and you can see how many years you've been through. So on this game, we're in our 4th year. Or are we in the 5th year? One of those two. No, they don't get lighter. That's just me. That's just me joking around. You know, but I was joking around like, well, what happens when the weight... when the front weight gets worn out? Is it going to fall off or get lighter or something? You could probably let that go to 0, and I doubt that anything would happen. Alright, now my Challenger's in the way. Alright, so... how much power do I need for the planter, the seeder? 300. And what does my Challenger have? 380. Okay, well, let's use the Challenger. It's practically impossible to steer it, but I'll get used to it. It's impossible to steer it precisely. And I don't like that I always get caught up on this thing when I exit it. Okay, so I've already got grass and fertilizer in here. I think it ought to be enough to get that little field done. Yeah, K-Mac, there is... if you look for that thread, there's a link that I put in the Farming Simulator channel on my Discord in regards to maintenance and repair cost. And there's a pretty detailed analysis in there, and he talks about... the guy who wrote it talks about not only, you know, what the cost is. Like, he talks about the cost of repairing relative to the current percentage of the machine, and he also talks about how the wear rate increases with the age of the machine. You know, and what the costs are based on and everything. So it's quite detailed. I can never remember if select seed is... Okay, it's left button Y. Alright, so let's select grass. There we go. And we'll get on the field, and then we'll open it up. And this will only take a minute or two with this implement. Okay, turn it on, and lower it, and off we go. Right, so we're going to have to save up for mowing equipment. And haymaking equipment. And a way to pick it up. So a full grass setup is not cheap. And I'm planning just to use a loading wagon instead of bales. And then I'll store it in my silo, because my silo can hold grass and straw and stuff. And the loading wagon I'll be able to use to pick straw off the field as well. Yeah. I mean, I really like using the baler and making bales and picking them off the field, but the problem with the bales is the same problem as with the pallets. You know, you have to fuss around with individual bales all the time, and after a while it gets tiresome. So that's why I'm just planning to just handle all that stuff loose. Well, and not only that, but it needs to go into the cow barn loose anyway, so it seems to make sense. And then for the silage, we have a choice there, because I do have a mod that has a fermenting silo where you can just dump the grass in, and then it turns into silage over time, and then you can get it out of the pipe just like you would any, you know, stuff that's in a regular silo. So we could use that, or we could use the, you know, the traditional silage bunker where you have to spread it out and compress it and stuff. So let me know what you guys think about that, if you prefer one option over the other. And again, there, if you use the bunker, then we would need to get some conveyors or a front loader or something to load it into a wagon. Whereas with the silo, you can just drive under the silo and unload it into your wagon. So it's another convenience type of a deal. All right, so it looks like I might need more fertilizer on this field. Oh no, I know what it is. The part where the ground doesn't look wet, that's where I mowed it before. And that started with one fertilizer state. So it's not taking a second fertilizer state now because it already started with one. So it should be fully fertilized by the time we're done here. Because you can only fertilize it twice. Any additional fertilizer won't have any effect. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And that'll give us an excuse to buy a front loader. Okay, so we'll do a traditional silage clamp, and those are cheap. I think I'll put in two. I'll put in two side by side. That way we'll have one that we can add new material to, and then we can have one that's already got silage in it that we can, you know, that we can be using. Otherwise we would have to, because otherwise you have to completely empty it before you can put more grass or chaff in it. So if you have two, you can have one to fill and one to empty at any given moment. What is more common? I think the bunker is more common. Or like where I live, there's a huge dairy farm, or several dairy farms close to where I live, which you might think is kind of surprising since I live in the desert. But there's actually quite a few fields around here where they grow alfalfa and grass, and then there's some big dairy farms, and they don't even have the bunkers. They just put the stuff in huge piles on the ground, like huge piles, like the size of, maybe like half the size of a football field, you know. And then they cover it up and throw a bunch of old tires on top of it and wait for it to do its thing. And then they have tons and tons of sheds that are just full of hay bales and straw bales. And I don't know where they get the straw. I think they must bring it in from somewhere else, because nobody grows grain in my area, as far as I know. I'm in West Texas, and what's this? Oh, okay. Yeah, see this light blue part there? That's where I mowed before, but I don't have a field set up. Right. Yeah, so around here, a lot of the farms grow chili peppers, of course. You know, Hatch, New Mexico is only about an hour north of me, so if you've ever heard of Hatch chilies, that's where they come from. There's tons of chili farms up there, and close to where I live, they also do chilies, but they also do onions, cotton. There's a lot of cotton. And then, like I said, alfalfa, grass. But that's more like for feed. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that I've seen. But I used to ride a bicycle a lot. And I did that for several years. You know, so on the weekends I would get up early and go for, you know, a 40, 50-mile bike ride. And I would drive through all those farm roads. And man, driving through there, like around the time they were harvesting the onions, man, it smelled good. And riding through there after they spread manure on the fields, that didn't smell so good. Or even worse yet, just before they did it, because then they would just have the manure like in these giant heaps all along the side of the road. And we would have to ride right past them. That was pretty nasty. Okay. I think we could probably call it a day, no? We got the grass planted. Oh, we can go pick up that planter from the shop. Let's do that before we call it a night here for the month of November. I'm not going to end the stream yet, but I mean we're gonna call it a night within the context of the game. And then hopefully we'll get lucky and get some used equipment on the market soon that will fit into our plans. If we play on the map long enough, I thought about doing cotton as well. I have not... Oh, hey K-Mac. It's Hatches north of Las Cruces. So you drive through Cruces on your way there. It's you go up on I-25 about an hour from here, and you get to Hatch. It's beautiful out there, you know, because you've got like these desert mesas, you know, and these hills and cliffs, and then down in the valley, just these green fields where they're growing chilies. It's beautiful. Oh, the other thing I forgot to mention: there's a lot of pistachio and pecan orchards where I live too. So just row after row after row of trees. And that's pretty neat. Anyway, all that stuff kind of pleasantly surprised me when I moved here because you see the desert and the Rocky Mountains. Rocky with a lowercase r. And you wouldn't think that there's, you know, a lot of agriculture or fertile land around here, but it's really quite remarkable what they can get to grow as long as they have water. Let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, okay. Bales versus piles, right? Bronc Freak, no, I haven't done mountain biking. I did do some dirt biking, you know, off-road motorcycles. But the rate at which I injured myself doing that kind of turned me off to mountain biking. I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to keep getting hurt. Ernesto Gonzalez Neira, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. Oh, dude. You used to live really close to where I live. You probably lived a couple miles from where I live now. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's where we would ride our bikes, all up and down, you know, Highway 28 there. Goes along the Rio Grande and through all those farm fields. And back in those days, there was very little traffic on those roads, so it was just, I mean, it was perfect for cycling. I miss it. But they developed that area a lot now, and they still have the same 2-lane, 55-mile-an-hour speed limit roads, but with a lot more cars, so I wouldn't ride a bicycle down there anymore. Oh, you're from Del Rio. Okay. Yeah, cool. Isn't Del Rio where, is that where No Country for Old Men was? Or part of it? Close all that up. I don't know why I opened all these doors. Okay. And we're leaving the T6 outside these days, so I'll go ahead and close that too. Got my spotlights coming on. Yeah, so let's just take a quick look at where we're at. I think we got a healthy amount of work done today. Let's turn on grass so we can see the grass growing. Fortunately, it doesn't turn the whole field grass colored. Okay. I don't know a lot about country music. I do know that I like George Strait, at least what I've heard of him before. He's like the real deal. I like hearing, like, I mean, I don't know what you call it, like old school country music, you know, like Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings and that kind of thing. The modern country music to me just sounds like rock and roll with a southern accent, you know. So that doesn't do it a whole lot for me. Yeah, but like the 70s and 80s country music I like a lot more. And part of that is because, you know, when I was growing up, my mom used to listen to that stuff in the car all the time, and you know, when I had to go with her to the grocery store and stuff like that. So it brings back good memories. Yeah, Kenny Rogers, Dolly Parton, you know, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so when I hear that, it's like it kind of just gives me a nice warm feeling, you know. Okay, yeah, so fields are good. Let's see, animals are good. We got 10,000 liters of milk now. I'm just going to let it store up until we have a dairy, unless it looks like it's going to max out, and then we'll sell some. But yeah, and the sheep have plenty of grass, and the chickens have plenty of feed. So yeah, so I think we can call it a night here. Let's go take a nap until December and see what we got. And since it's December, we'll wake up at 8 a.m. A milk silo? Do they have those? We can look into it. I mean, it looks like my cow shed can hold a lot. Yeah, see, look, we're paying almost 12 grand a month in interest. Wow, and it's still dark outside. You know what? Let's go back to bed for another hour. What do you say? Okay, that's better. Got a little bit of snow. All right, we've got eggs and bread to sell as usual. We'll do that here in a minute. All right, more wool. We're up to 2,000 and some liters. And 13,000 liters of milk. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's make our run to the shop. Sell our eggs and sell our bread. And then we could, well, let's see what's on sale. Oh, another planter. I think the one we got yesterday is better, though. So I don't feel bad. Yeah, I listen to lots of stuff too. I know I've talked a lot about rock and metal music, but I like jazz as well. I'm probably like, 30% jazz, 70% rock in my listening. What am I doing over here? Sorry guys, I skipped right past the New Holland. Only $5 in the account right now. Need to make some dough. Fortunately, we're making loads of money on that bread. Speaking of dough. And we'll check and see how much flour we've got. I don't know if we have enough flour to get us to the next harvest or not. I'm thinking probably not. But if we can squeeze out another 4 or 5 months from that bakery, that would be very helpful. Ah, $2.50 per trailer load, right. Okay. So that's like eggs plus bread, right? Or is it $2.50 for the eggs and $2.50 for the bread? Because they all fit on one trailer. Just to make sure we're all on the same page here. Oh, okay, per load. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that seems like a fair price. Actually, if somebody was paying that, I would probably move and do that for a living. That's pretty good money for an hour work. Ugh. An hour's worth of work. Excuse me. Do you? Yeah, that's good. Uh-oh. Yeah, there we go. Let's take a look and see how much we've got in there. Okay, we still have 47,000 flour. Yeah, I want to say we're using, what, about 23,000 per day. So I think we got like, or per month. So I think we got about 2 months left before we run out of flour. But this next harvest, we're going to have a lot more. Because our field is going to be almost twice as big, and we're planting a different crop that will yield more flour over the same area. So I think in the next year we should be able to keep that bakery running non-stop, and we might even have extra flour left over. So what we can do is when we start making cakes, I don't know, we might have to add a second bakery. Like if we can keep the cake production going all year and we still have flour left over, then we can put in another bakery to make bread in that one, you know. Or we can just sell extra flour directly. Woohoo! Money, money, money. Love it. Okay. So that gives us a nice little cushion. Yeah, I'm not gonna bother buying the dairy yet, because even if we had the dairy, we wouldn't make any money off of it, because everything that comes out of the dairy is just going to go to the bakery. So I'm thinking it... Oh no, the stats tab, that's... No, this is part of the base game, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, 53. Well, that's kilometers per hour. Oh, I think you have to have it. Okay, grass is starting to grow. Let's go take a look and see what our yield is going to be. And grass doesn't get weeds, which is nice. Yeah, so 95%. Because we didn't roll the seed and we didn't mulch it. But that's fine. 95 is... If we round it up, it's 100. Yeah, so I don't think putting in the dairy right now, even though we have the milk, adding the dairy right now is not really going to gain us anything. So I think instead, I think we ought to make a field. Well, we got two choices. We can either make a field for sugar beets, or we can use one of our existing fields. Maybe that's a better way to do this. We've got barley. Down here, we're going to do sorghum. Let's check my fertilization down here. Yeah, we're good on fertilizer. Yeah, so we could plant sugar beets on one of these fields. Maybe this one. I think this is the smallest field I have. If we do sugar beets, we don't want it to be a big field. How can you not have that tab? It's not a mod. If you start a game with no mods, it should be there. I can't explain that. You're playing Farm Sim 22, right? Not 19 or 17 or something like that. Yeah, because I can't explain that if you don't see it. Sounds like a bug to me. Maybe you have a mod that took it out or something. Yeah, but that's part of the base game. In fact, all of these are, except for I have this one because of course play, but everything else here is from the base game. Okay, so I think we'll use 40. We'll use 26 north for sugar beets. Okay. So we'll have chickens, we'll have beets, and then we'll do, well, we're going to get straw off of this. So on these fields, we could maybe do soybeans just for extra money. Yeah, so really, I don't really think there's anything else we have to do right now. We could look into getting another shed. We could clear some space for that. And I was thinking, I'm trying to think of where we should put a second shed or a third shed. I was thinking probably just another one like this open one, because we really just need more storage for tools. We're okay with vehicle storage for now. So we have a couple options. You know, I could clear the trees from this area here, and we could put another one of those sheds right next to this one. I guess I'm not really sure what to do about the layout. I don't know that we necessarily want like a long row of sheds. Or we could clear out the area behind this one where this deer family lives. Kick them out. And then put a shed behind it facing in this direction. That would be a little more compact. But it would be less friendly to the local wildlife. What do you guys think? Any thoughts or opinions on that? One way or another? 3 in a line or 2 back to back is the question before you right now. It's a magical deer. You just cleared all the trees. That's probably what I should do, really. Let's just start clearing the trees, and we can think about it as we go. All right, so the small trees I'm just going to delete, okay, because I don't want to take the effort to mess around with the small ones. I should probably move this equipment out of the way so that we can simulate us not crushing it. But let's get rid of some of these small trees first, and then we can figure out a good place to fell these trees. Hey, Grill Monster, how you doing? Good evening. Yeah, if we're gonna clear a lot of trees, then a sawmill might be a good idea. I know I have enough money for a sawmill. The sawmill's only 20 grand. And you can even give logs to the carpentry shop and get furniture. Although you get more if you make planks first, but you don't have to. So we could even go directly into carpentry if we wanted to. I'll just have to check to see if we got enough money for that. And that'll pay for itself pretty quick. Right, so all these small trees that I'm removing, there's all of them taken together is probably not even as much wood as we get from one medium or large tree. So that's why I'm just grinding them up here. And then we'll get all the bigger trees and put them onto the trailer. Okay. Yeah, so probably making, I mean, I guess if you're going to do it, you might as well spend an extra 20 grand for the sawmill. The sawmill's quite a large building. Which is kind of strange since it's the biggest one. And it's the cheapest one. But. Okay. So let's start taking a few of these down. I'll just have them fall away from the equipment. So it shouldn't be an issue. They fall to the left. Actually, before I start, I just want to check and see how much the carpentry shop costs. $60,000. Okay. So I do have enough to do both buildings. The carpentry shop and the sawmill. So that way we'll put all this wood to good use, and we'll get a lot more profit from it. Right, so you get it to where it's red, and then you can remove the stump. Like that. And I want to say that we can get, I think we can get about 4 trees. Oh, I think we can do more than that. I'm just thinking like how many trees I can get into that log trailer that I've got. I know I can get 4 trees easily, and maybe even more than that into one load. All right, let me let's get the branches off of these while we can still see where they are. And then we'll cut them down to 12.5 meters in length. And then we'll do some more of that light cheating I mentioned earlier, and we'll use our super strength to put them up into the trailer. Oh, you know what? I forgot to pay for the trailer this morning. Whoops. So let's do that. That cost me $250. Okay. There we go. Did I miss branches? No, those are just bushes over there. Oh, the trailer for the logs. Yeah, I just decided to buy it. At least I think I bought it. I should check. I should check and make sure I'm not leasing it by mistake. No, I'm not. Yeah, I bought it. I think I bought it because I was thinking that I was definitely going to need to clear more trees in the future, so I might as well just own it. Not only that, but you can make the money for the trailer back with one load of wood, so that was the other reason I just decided to buy it. I would still come out ahead money-wise, and I would own a trailer that I could use again. Okay. So we'll cut this, and then we'll get these loaded up. And then I'm going to have to call it an actual night. Okay, let's bring the lumber trailer over here. And then you guys tell me what you prefer. Would you prefer for me to finish clearing these trees and set up the sawmill and the carpentry shop offline so that all that stuff is done and in place the next time? Or do you want me just to wait and do it in the next stream? What do you guys think? I'm fine either way. You'd like to see it? Okay. Anybody else? All right. Well, I'll just when I'm done here, then I'll just save the game and we'll pick up where we left off the next time. Okay. So 11.5 feet, or 11.5 meters. Most of these trees are 25, so that means you just cut them in half. Okay. Thanks, Lanesta. All right, so I got a mod on here called Measure. So I hit Alt, right mouse button. That sets it to 0. And then I just come down until I get to about 11.5. And cut it. And then I can see the other log is... Well, it's 13.5. I guess that one's a little too long. Did I do that short? I think I probably didn't have my 0 in the right place. All right, let's try that again. So hit it once to reset it, once more to set it to 0. Oh, 12.5. Duh. Okay. All right, and now we have 21 meters left because this tree is particularly long, so I'll go down to 25. And we'll cut it again. Okay, 12.5. There we go. How long is this one? This one is 25 long, so this one goes 12.5 as well. Same for this one. This mod is so useful. So you don't have to guess if you're cutting the trees to a good length. Let's see, did I get them all? I think I did. I thought I cut more trees than that. Oh no, I didn't get this one, did I? Yeah, I did. Alright, cool. Alright, so then for the super strength, we hold Alt and then pick it up. And I pick it up in the middle, and then I just take it over to the trailer and put it approximately in the middle there. Alright, yeah, I might have to scoot down a little bit if I don't get it in just the right spot. Now the other option you can do when you're loading it is to pick it up close to the end. Like this. And that way it's easier to see where you are in relation to the... Whoa, it's swinging around a little bit. You can see a little bit better where you are in relation to the end of the trailer. And then just drop it in. Oh, yeah, and then you end up doing that. It's not as easy as it looks. Right, because you can't see where the end of the log is. You have to kind of hope that you have it in the right spot. Alright, that's one of the... It also helps to stand back from it a bit, because then you have a little more space to see the ends of it. Alright, like this. And then as it clips through these posts on the side, I try to straighten it out so it kind of passes through all of them at the same time. That way you know it's kind of like aligned with the trailer and not at an angle. You know, tricks of the trade. This is the kind of stuff that all the lumberjacks do. Alright, get it so those goalposts are lined up like that. Push it in, drop it. Good. Thanks, Lanesta. I am strong, aren't I? My mom said I'm the strongest boy in the whole school. Okay, drop that there. Oh yeah, let's not forget this little piece. How big is this one? Yep. Yeah, in fact, if you back up far enough, you can see both ends. You have to be careful when you're moving these around because, like, this log weighs 1.2 tons, and if you bump it into a tractor or something, it does have an effect on it. You're not picking it up because it is magically lighter. You're just picking it up because you're a lot stronger. So the mass of the object hasn't changed. All right. Yeah, so with 12.5 meters, they do hang off the end a little bit. I suppose. I think that trailer is probably meant for like 12 meters, but then since all the trees are 25 meters tall, it doesn't quite work out mathematically. They need to make the trailer like a meter longer. Are you kidding me? I couldn't do that again if I tried. There we go. Yo. Went too far, excuse me. Yeah, this is a little fiddly, but it's a lot less fiddly than trying to use the log handling equipment. I guarantee you that. At least for me it is. Again, it's a lot like moving pallets around. It's fun for like 2 or 3 of them, and then it's like, this is taking forever. So that's why I just do it this way. And it's still not it's still not really an easy task, even doing it this way. Okay, is that all of it? I think so. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll go to landscape mode. We'll go down to painting, and then I'll just paint grass here, just to kind of get rid of the bushes and such, so it makes it easier to move around and see what we're doing. And then later on, if and when we decide to put buildings in, you know, it'll be easier to do so. Okay, so that side's cleared. Huh. I wonder why this grass is shorter than that grass. Maybe it's because of the winter time. All right, so this is 5 trees, and we still have room in this trailer for probably at least 1 more, if not 2 more. It looks like some of these logs we can probably push in a bit. Although I hesitate to do so because when you're using super strength, you do have the ability to push it right through the end of the trailer, and I might end up bouncing all the logs right out of it. So I think we'll leave it at that for now. We'll strap them all down. Right. Yeah, we could probably get another one in there without too much trouble. In fact, I think we will put 1 more in. And then next time we'll find a good place to put the sawmill and the carpentry shop, and then we can turn all this wood into furniture, and that will make us a handsome profit. True RWB, make sure to put a red flag on the furthest one sticking out. Yeah, right? We need a mod for that. Just tie a red rag on that one for safety. Marty Oreo. Ah, he's going to build you a gaming machine. Awesome. That would be great. Hope that goes well. Okay, everybody. Well, I've got to wrap it up for tonight. I appreciate you all being here with me. I had a good time playing here, as usual. Hope that you did too. And I will see you all on Sunday morning. All right? So until then, take care. Bye-bye.